folks, welcome back to Atlantis. Wow, my voice is feeling very croaky this evening. I guess we'll see how we hold up today. So the goal for today is to try and play the game some more, try and get this channel in and working and progressing. Now, a couple of you have asked about the negative water sources and having this channel making permanent power. My expectation was that once the drought starts, these negative water sources will switch off, and I did do a quick offline test and they indeed do. So we won't get permanent power, but we can potentially make this wider and make it make power. And I will do. I just want to initially get it working, so that's the priority. Something that we do need to probably do is throw a levee in there so we get like a closed off channel. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to prioritize the building of that. The other thing that we need to do that you all pointed out is I put that to be biofuel, not bad water, because I'm a dummy. So we're going to do that as well, and yeah, hopefully we can start to make a dent in the amount of water that's in here, because otherwise we're going to be running out of time, and that would be bad. So yeah, that's all of that. This will help. The other plan is to start expanding the population a bit more rapidly. I think that's something that we need to look at doing. We have 200 odd science. I'm wondering if, yeah, let's unlock the Double Lodge. That's not a technical term. That's just me saying things stupidly. To do that, that'll be good. I did remember to remove the colony planner mod because it drives me slightly crazy. But yeah, we'll get that going. We will get other stuff going. I think at this point, there's probably benefit in us. Did I remove? No. We're going to duplicate you. That's like duplicate, but with a B. I'm going to throw a few of those there, and then we're going to come over and delete. Actually, no, we won't delete them. We'll just come in, grab the automation tool, and just pause those for now, so that we can start to rip all of this out. Yeah, and we're starting to get trees coming, which is awesome. Probably, I'm pausing because I don't really need to. We have those set up properly. That's great. So I am away in a hotel tonight, which means on top of the fact that my voice sounded weird to me when I started talking, there's also the random effect of hotel room sound, so things might sound a little bit weird. Hotel rooms always have a mirror right in front of the desk, and that always does slightly weird things to the audio. It is what it is, folks. I can't change it, and I do a lot of traveling with my day job, so yeah. It is what it is. Anyway. Right. What I would like to do is not have these flooded, and I'm hoping that by getting this built and flowing, we are going to help achieve that. So yeah, now making the explosives is probably going to be a little bit slow. We probably want to have that prioritized by haulers, and what I think I'll do is I'm going to come in here, and we're going to do, and if that is less than, let's go say 100, we will prioritize by haulers, and then we'll duplicate that. We'll invert it, and we'll do a script, and we'll do say 150. Yeah, let's go with that. So trying to manage some of the prioritization with haulers to make things a little bit better. We've currently got a lot of free beds. That would probably help if we reduced the work hours a little bit, because that gives the beavers a little bit of time for, you know, the things that beavers like to do. Allegedly, I think I read somewhere that that does help if they have a bit more spare time. So we'll throw in a couple of those as well, so they've got some time to do some things in the place where they do the things. That was good use of words, wasn't it? And let's throw in some... wow, I know where all the buttons are. And I can press buttons. Let's delete the path. Why are you here, folks? I don't know. Some of you seem to enjoy it, which I'm grateful of. I really am. So if you enjoyed the Frosty Whiskers, I have been playing it in the background and providing a fair bit of feedback to Lapan. The balance of that mod is currently really broken. If you want to see my views on that, go check out the Timberborn Discord. You'll see that I'm posting in the Frosty Whiskers channel on there reasonably regularly as I play the different updates that Lapan puts out. Because I'm playing it a fair bit in the background. I think I made the right choice based on your guys' feedback as well to pause that at the moment, because it is in kind of an unplayable state, in my opinion. The post-bunker game is really not well balanced at the moment. Pan's working on it. With what he's trying to achieve, it's quite complicated, in that he's trying to make a game that is very difficult, with science being a very key resource. So yeah, I understand what he's trying to do. I'm trying to give him feedback based on me playing it. I'm not the best Timberborn player in the world. I never claim to be. You know, I have no delusions of grandeur in that aspect. But as an average-ish player of Timberborn, I'm giving him my feedback on what I'm finding as I play with the mod. I would recommend to folks, if you are interested in the development of the Frosty Whiskers mod, or if you're interested in playing it in the future, then you should very definitely be giving it a go and giving Lapan some feedback. If you're playing it, if you have played it with the latest update and you've played it and you've got stuck or whatever, give him feedback. And you use the Timberborn Discord to give him feedback. I think that's probably the best way, because you can interact a little bit naturally. There's the channel for the mod in the mods bit on there, and it's just going to really, I think it will help develop that more quickly, is my view. And then we get a cool faction. So yeah, I've got those built for when we hopefully get them freed up, which hopefully we will do, as we get more access to stuffs. We might need to... Oh, that's going to dump some water in. As we start to drain this, we'll get rid of this little bit of bad water that's in the bottom here. And we are nearly at the point this is going to be good. We are going to need to throw in very quickly an platform. And something that I'm realizing is... Nice. Oh, we've got some planks here. That'll be okay. I was thinking that all of our planks are going to be the other side, but we will have some planks. So ideally what we want to do is detonate this when the beavers are asleep. But ultimately we'll do it whenever we can, you know. Well, we've got some poorly beavers, so let's throw in another few more of those. Got the beaver statue built. So what are some other easy well-being things we could do? The Agora's a bit of a way off, as is the Deets. Most of those are a bit of a way off. Weather Vane, Bulletin Pole are probably both pretty easy, actually. Decoration. 250, yeah, we need to wait a little bit for that, so... But we'll get there, and we've almost got this channel in just as the drought starts, which kind of, you know, it is what it is. We'll get to make use of it next time, and what we want to do is be looking to make it wider. We do need to, if we want to like power out of it anyway. At the moment, we're kind of okay for power. As the drought starts, my preference with Folktails generally is to try and use, where I can, wind power, just because, you know, it's better. So what we want to do here, I think, before we open this up, is maybe plan to put in another... Actually, we can probably do it from there. We'll see how we get on. So once the beavers go to sleep, we will be detonating this. Yep. And ideally, once the population's expanded, which it is doing, we could do with... let's prioritize getting those houses built so we can get some more beds going. It's also, I don't know if everything's a priority, nothing's a priority. I know these things, but, you know, right. I think mod settings. Where are you? Timprove. I hate that. I like having the night. I know some of you don't like it, but I do. Particularly for a reason like this. So we're going to do that. And we're going to do a high priority platform there. Which means some of the other stuff that I've super high prioritized, we should probably do that level of priority. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come here. And we're going to open you up to no, let's go like 0.75. Yeah, it's going to let some bad water through, but that's okay. No, we need because there's a drop there. We have two options. We're going to close this again because we're in a drought. We want... need to have not done that. That was silly of me. So we're going to have to put that back there, and we're going to put that there, and then we're going to have that there. Yeah. And you are going to be super high priority too. And that'll be okay, because then we can have them all work together. There's one great unified thingamabob. Yeah. So you are going to be set to be... So you are a floodgate, so you go to 0.6. So we should set you to be 0.65, maybe 0.7. And then you can just be you. Excuse me. And you can then be you. And then you'll flow through into there. And then you'll flow through into there. And then you'll flow enough to fill this whole thing up to be 0.7. and then when the drought ends, that'll flow out. Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully it'll help, because we're then taking out 0.6 of a source, which is, you know, some. And we've also taken out a point. Is it 0.1, I think? Yeah, 0.1. So we've dealt with 0.7. And the other ones are not that strong, I don't think. They are 0.4. So, you know, dealing with 0.6 deals with 1.5 of the active water sources, which I think is pretty useful, you know? I think that's pretty useful. So we've now got the ability to do a reasonable population expansion as well. And we've got permanent access to drinking water. So that's good. We're ripping that down. We've not got permanent access to bad water, and we're never going to get that. Apart from the fact that this will eventually become some level of mixed, and we could set up a deep water pump to pump bad water out into a storage. So do we have 15 explosives. So I think, and we could make this deeper, but it's never going to hold that much. The way I think to deal with it is to just set up more pumping and storage once we've got this cleared out. And I think what we should do is just throw a bunch of these at it. What are our rules on? Our rules are not great. What we want to do is update this to be that was the reminder for me to take my meds, which I must not forget tonight. And then we want district capacity for scrap metal. There we go. And what we're going to do is actually, let's just get rid of those and we'll do a fresh one. So we'll edit that and we'll do that to be a pause, and we'll do script. We'll delete that. This is a pause one, so we want greater than. I just copy all of that and then I'll just delete the end. Times 0.95. Save. Discard. Delete. Duplicate. Invert. Script. 0.8. Save. Probably actually what we want to add on as well is ready to collect greater than or equal to 1. Just in case they do actually manage to clear everything out. Control C, Control V, and then we want an OR, Control V, less than 1. Save, discard, get rid of, save and close, copy, bosh, and then we'll grab you, throw a few more over here, and they are low priority workplaces, so that's awesome. And we'll just try and get this ripped down pretty darn quickly. Timber wise, we're looking pretty good. Logs wise, we could do with some more, but I guess we could do with updating the rules for these as well. And probably what we want to do, and I think maybe over here, is put in a bigger storage for them. Now I probably need to install some better mods for storage for these guys. What I think we want to do is have this one set up so that if this is less than, let's say, 10, it gets prioritized. And then we'll duplicate, invert, script, and just do like 15. Save, discard, save and close, just so that they bring some over. And I'll have that as an obtain, just to keep the metalworks fueled. Just gonna snooze the notification from my meds. But yeah, I think we want to put in a pile for planks over here. Now I've not really planned very well to allow for that. We could leave the little one there as kind of like the working stock, and maybe just put another one over here as a like longer term stockpile. Does that make sense? And just have that as a supply. And then come in here and do the same thing. So let's get rid of you. Do a fresh rule. No. Come on, use your brain, son. It's been a long day again. There's not been a very busy work day. It's been a hot day here. If you are not in the UK or not aware, we're doing a greater than, so we want a pause, which we are on. Let's do one save, and then district capacity. I'll come back to the point that I was almost making. So save, script, Control C, and again the same thing. Times 0.95, save, discard, close, duplicate, invert, script, 0.8, save and close, and then we copy that and apply it to all of plank factories. But yeah, the thing that I was about to mention is in the UK, it is we are in a heat wave. Today it was 36 Celsius. I think in America that's like 874 million freedom units approximately, give or take several freedoms. Let's not talk about taking freedom, shall we? Anyway, yeah, so it's been really hot today, and my car has a problem with its air conditioning at the moment, so driving for 3 hours with intermittent aircon sucked. I am in a hotel with aircon, so that was kind of nice. Yeah, that's my excuse for feeling kind of worn out today, apart from doing a half a day at work, or 3/4 of a day at work, and then it's still flowing. I kind of like that. It's not flowing out because that's why the water wheel's not turning, but it's still filling that up, which is kind of cool. So I guess we'll get some evaporation from it being sat in here in a bigger area. So that's good. All right. Is there any more easy? Oh, that we were going to do some of these other easy thingies. Are we getting the ones that I've put in? We're getting some of them, but not all of them. So probably what I should do is let's do some cheaty stuff. It's not cheaty really. It's just kind of cheesy, I guess. So let's throw a roof there and a roof there, and we'll throw a shrubbery there and there. We'll unlock the bulletin pole, and I guess if we throw that there, that's going to get most of them coming down the stairs, and we could put another one there, and then the weather vane. If we throw that there, that's going to get a bunch of them. So let's do that. get that going on. And then I think probably we'll look at replacing these houses on the back. Yeah. Let's look at doing that. So we would delete you. We'll delete you and make you all homeless. Go find somewhere else to do whatever it is you're doing, you bunch of delinquents. And we'll do that. I want to start quite rapidly expanding the workforce, partly because that means they'll just start using things like water more. And, you know, if we're using more water, we can pump more water. If we can pump more water, we'll be pumping more water. And pumping more water is good at the moment, you know? We could do with dropping the water level by at least a block. So, you know, right, we've got you in. I'm almost tempted to do another one. Now, there is an argument that at the moment a bad tide would... I say it would help. It won't, because the water sources will keep generating water. But equally, we can be letting water out. But at the moment, we're getting more in than is going out. So, you know, do I have... I do have the blueprint mod installed. So we could create blueprint. You... we just call you source cap, and then build blueprint, build. Actually, if I rotate you and bung you over the top, you gonna let me do that? You gonna let me? No. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll do you like that, and we'll just have to run the path a little bit differently. There to there. Nice. Ideally, I don't want to be doing this, but you guys didn't seem to have a problem with it, so we're going to. I think pretty soon I want to be looking at what water level are we at in there at the moment. Can't really tell. I want to be looking soon at zip lines once we've got a bit more science. My thought is I would like to do... Maybe when we get 1,000 science, we put an observatory in. If we put in an observatory in, I want to put it up here because putting an observatory in underground just feels wrong. We probably actually want to be getting paper going, I think. We should also move this. If we move this back one, we can sort out this path. So I'm just going to do that. If we do that, and then that, get rid of that, and put that there, then they can put all of that pine resin back in. We can tidy that mess of a path up. And then what I want to do is put in a paper mill, because then we can look at unlocking the bigger windmills, because they are more efficient. We are ripping into this like a thing that is ripping some things. That's a technical term. This is all going okay, and we are about to start hopefully getting some water flowing through here, which is good. And I think narrow channels are better for evaporation. You guys were really keen. Some of you were really keen for me to be doing lots of narrow channels. So, yep. We got 8 spare beavers. I think we should re-enable these, but what we need to do is, actually we don't need to edit the rules, we can just grab the rules from here. bosh. Bosh, bosh, bosh. And we'll get those going as well. I mean, really, we should be rebuilding them as big pumps, but, you know. We can just get them going at the very least. And what we should see now is this just flowing continuously as these ramp up. Because this should have more demand going through it now, I believe. So that's good, you know. If this isn't flowing continuously, then we could make it wide up, but and this is now generating a bit more power, which is nice, you know. And this is just letting out a mix of stuff. That's fine, as long as it doesn't get too contaminated. I'm kind of curious, so let's just let it go crazy, shall we? Yeah, I mean, that's just running constantly now, which is kind of cool, you know. Let's just do a quick marker of our depth. What would we say that is? There, because that's about, so we're on day 2 of the drought. Someone remember we're on day 2. Good job, folks. And we're up to 75 beavers. Now, I am a little bit worried that means we're going to start caning our food a little bit. So I think 2 things that we want to do. 2 parts to this problem, folks. If you're new here, there are usually 2 parts to a problem. So part 1, we want to move and establish a new pine forest. I think we should establish a new small pine forest over here. For now, we don't have a huge demand for pine currently. And in fact, this guy can plant pine. So what we're going to do is come over here. We're going to mark this area not to be cut. We're going to come in here. We're going to find pine trees. And I'm going to plant a bunch of new pine trees. That's all of you. And we're going to make sure that they are not marked for cutting. Because how many times have we all done that silly mistake? I'm going to hope that the pine resin that we've got is sufficient. We're then going to come in here. We're going to mark all of this to be cut. We're going to come here. We're going to delete all of that. We're going to not delete the trees because we want to cut down the trees because they give us wood. Do trees give you wood? Do you get excited by trees? I'm not judging, I'm just asking, okay? And I think maybe we want to throw some wheat in. So we're going to do not one of those. We're going to do one of those. We're going to do one of those. We're going to go into decoration. We're going to do that jobby, and you are going to be Erig 3. We're going to save you, and we'll let them get that built. And let's go out to the top, And I am getting a little bit nervous, but you know, let's run around to over here. All the way around to here. Grab our blueprint. Actually, we're probably going to need to throw in, at the very least, you. Maybe more. Awesome. And what we'll do is we'll throw in some ladders there. And we'll delete those ladders. And that'll get that going. You know. And we'll see how we do. How are we doing for water supply? Our water supply is going up, which is good. We have 9 spare beavers currently, so I think what would be not a bad idea is another hauling post. So let's throw you in. We've got 1100 science. So now if I wanted to do, there's a few things that I'm thinking about. Folks. I am pondering the dirt excavator. That's quite a lot of science. To get quite a lot of science, we probably do need the observatory. And I do think the observatory needs to be outside. My dilemma is, do we do the observatory first? It only needs 200 HP. So I think I'm not averse actually to throwing that in and powering that off of a couple of windmills with, I know gravity batteries would be, you know, really cool there, but I think we just do that. Let's just run a bit of path along there so they can get all of that built. That'll be good, because that'll unlock more science potential for us. But I just can't put the observatory underground. I just can't. Right, we need storage for PayPal. And I think what we do is put it on top there. Paper. And do that. That'll be good. I'm going to prioritize that so we can start storing up some paper ready to build the big windmills, because I think they use quite a lot, 30 a piece. So, you know, we can get another deep water pump in. So let's do that. I thought I marked that area to be, I don't know. Oh no. Like that. I want to be able to put a path through and through. You are going to be greater than 0.6. Pause, save, duplicate, invert script. 0.4, save. And this is as much about saving labor as it is about saving water. We're going to throw in a farm there. Did I put in? I didn't. I think I'm going to leave that little bit of berries there. And I think I'm going to put in a gatherer flag there. And then I'm going to go through and delete all of these so that we can actually make this a solid block of farming. I need to put in more of those being contamination barriers. And I guess actually what I need to do is not plant right up to the edge there. I need to delete that path. I need to grab you and come around here as well. Like that. Let's prioritize you. Grab the rules for you. And let's start planting some wheat, because wheat is a really good dense crop. So, and with a big expansion in the population, I'm a little bit nervous about sustaining the beavers. So, yeah. And we've got lots of population, so we are good for stuff. Stuff being able to grow things, and actually we could grow a little bit more. So let's do that. Something like that. There we go. Let's make sure that you are all marked to be cut. A bunch of you need to be marked to be deleted, I guess. You. There we go. Okay, they'll get to those eventually. Awesome. Right, how are we looking on the outside? We've gone up not as much this time, which is nice. Now, ideally, we wouldn't be going up. Ideally, we'd be going down. But for that, we need a much bigger population. So, let's keep working on that, shall we? What I want to do is delete those. Come in here, grab the big houses. Put in a couple of those. And then grab those, put in a couple of those. And there we go. We do have an issue now that the well-being stuff that we've built doesn't line up with the houses that we've built. So actually what I should have done is something different. And what we're going to do is something different. At the very least, you are going to be different, and you are empty. So you could be different. So let's make you different. Bosh, 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 bosh. And that solves that problem. And then we just need to put in another warehouse for the carrots. And we can do that by coming over here, putting you there, and throwing in an ladder. And there we go. Awesome. And I'm going to prioritize building the houses so that we don't end up with too long with homeless beavers. Yeah. How are we doing over here? That one is getting built. Seeing as we are over here, let's also have a look at this guy. Let's grab you. And I guess I'm just going to make you as a fresh new build. There we go. There we go. You go there. You go there. Platform. You go there is pretty much exactly the same thing, to be honest. I'm just building it scratch. You can be gotten rid of then. What we can do is we can put a platform there and we can put a stairs there, and now let's build all of you, and that will get rid of another one, and that has got that up to the next level. We have 2 layers left. I am nervous, folks. And I'm going to pause it there, actually. So I am wondering if we start to think about a defense. And we have options. We have options. So there's 2 essentially. We either look to close the lid through dirt. So I need to unlock the terrain block and get a couple of dirt excavators running, or use levies. And so there's a couple of thoughts. My couple of thoughts are, we could go up. And I'm wondering how. We're going to need to unlock the dirt block at some point anyway. So I don't have enough science points to unlock it. That's annoying. We could go up some amount of dirt blocks to give us room to experiment with the dirt idea, or the idea that I've got, or we work on the closing in theory. But I think at this point, with 2 layers to go, I need to concede that my current plan is probably not working. Unless we significantly increase our rate of water consumption. I mean, we're knocking down a little bit the amount that's being produced, but not a lot. The alternative is because blocking in these is going to be a pain because of the way they're built, and I assume that's intentional. You know, so I think we need to start looking at defense, and I want your suggestions on the route that we take. Do we close the roof, or do we raise the wall? Raising the wall will give us temporary relief. Closing the ceiling will give us permanent relief to try and, I guess, then break out eventually. And I have installed, I think, the watertight passages and things like that. So we could put some of these in so we can allow ourselves back out. Because I think that's important, because I don't want to be permanently stuck. And we can probably make use of this to try and drain things. And there are other options. You know, we can tunnel and try and do things with tunneling to get back on top of it with a big population. But for now, my gut feeling is that we need to try and prepare ourselves for the fact that Plan A has failed, is failing, and work towards Plan B. And I want to know what Plan B is. We can do one of two things. Let me know your thoughts, folks. And with that, I say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Stick your comments, suggestions down below, and I'll see you all next time.